Hello, this is Crypto Neptune, and I'm on to talk about Pulsechain. And we asked the question: does Pulsechain have the potential to become deflationary? And we'll also touch a little bit on PulseDrip. Remember, nothing I say is financial advice, and you should always do your own research. So, what do we know about Pulsechain? So, as you can see, over the last 30 something days, the daily transactions have been roughly, 446K, a little over 324K. And as you can see, it's been kind of fluctuating, right? October 12th looks like the daily transactions were 510K. Now, remember, Postchain as a blockchain has been running for 171 days. So in its infancy, it's a fairly young blockchain with a lot of potential to grow. But again, some consistent volume is on here, right? What else do we know about Pulse Chain? So let's dive a little bit further. So I found this kind of interesting. So I'm over here on Go Pulse. And on Go Pulse, it shows that 93.8 million has been bridged over to Pulse Chain from Ethereum. So it says the bridge connects Ethereum and Pulse Chain, enabling users to swap ETH for Pulse, right? And it kind of shows the varying assets that have been bridged over from Ethereum. And one of the main reasons why people come over to Pulse Chain is because you can transact and the gas fees are lower. That's one of the narrative, but then there's the aspect of new dApps being built on Pulse Chain. And then as it shows here, less money is going back to Ethereum, right? So it shows here $2.9 million is being bridged back into Ethereum. So that's a good narrative because that leads me to believe that when money is being bridged over to Pulse Chain, for the most part, like a good chunk of it is staying over here on Pulse Chain, whether people are liking like the low gas fees or whether they're liking maybe some of the new projects on Pulse Chain. So this is very interesting stuff here. And if we take a look further, if we go over here to some more stats, and we're going to look at, the Pulse Chain supply. So it shows here with the Pulse Chain supply, looks like roughly it's going to go up 11% yearly. But here's some interesting metrics over here. So it shows, over the last 30 days, 2.5 billion has been burned in PLS, and then 13 billion has been issued, right? So that's some interesting metrics there. So it does show the potential to have some PLS burned. And then it shows here some more interesting stats. 31.3 billion potentially could be burnt throughout the year. And again, here is the growth rate of the supply, roughly 11%. And then the issuance would be 179.85 million. And then if we kind of scroll down some more, some more interesting metrics, kind of the same deal here, showing the 2.5 billion being burned. And then it's kind of, showing the number of PLS being burnt per minute. So 59,640. So some interesting stuff there. But then I got to dig in a little bit deeper into the FAQs, right? It says, is Pulse Chain inflationary or deflationary? So the short of it, it says Pulse Chain at its core operates as an inflationary model. The native token, the native coin PLS is inflationary in nature, meaning that its supply increases over time. And if we kind of go down a little bit further, it says, however, due to the EIP 1559 implementation, PLS used as a base transaction fee is permanently burned, right? So it says this means with high transaction volume, the PLS burned can surpass the amount issued, making it net deflationary, right? So this is awesome. So essentially, the more and more volume that is pumped, so imagine like more and more users coming on the Pulsechain. And I think a lot of it would have to do with kind of like that SEC ruling, right? I would anticipate more people coming over, but also because of the new projects on here. But, imagine like the SEC just kind of dismissing the case and ruling in Richard Hart's favor. That would be more transaction volume. So imagine this here. I can imagine this being like a million daily in post chain transactions, right? 2 million, 3 million. So again, it's only been 171 days, but like let's look out a year, right? Imagine more of the cooler dApps being built on post chain, like PostRip, which is a dApp that's in which you earn that 1% per day, right? And 9inch is like a new protocol that was recently been launched as well. But you get the point, more and more dApps are being built on this blockchain, and that's going to be more and more usage. And then it goes down here to say, so we'll read this real quick. It says, when a validator successfully verifies and adds a new block to the blockchain, they are rewarded with newly minted PLS tokens. This increases the total supply of PLS. Deflationary. If the post-chain network sees a surge in transactions, with many users sending, receiving PLS, interacting with contracts, a portion of the PLS used as base transaction fees during the surge will be burned and permanently removed from circulation. Right? So again, because of the EIP 1559 implementation, PLS used as a base transaction fee is permanently burned. So this could get quite interesting with potentially PLS like essentially kind of outpacing. Let's see if we can go back up here. So we could potentially see this burn rate outpace this issuance rate, and it would be due to the number of daily transactions being pumped and increased. Because the more and more you transact, the more transaction fees which will occur on the network, right? So we could see this number here outpace this number here. Now we'd have to have a ton of volume pumped into it, but again, the narrative would have to be for developers to kind of think, okay, why should I come onto Postchain? Is it the cool new thing to do? Are there like a lot of potential successful projects? For example, like PostRip, right? Where you can come on here and earn 1% per day on your money, but also have a passive income NFT, right? So the more and more innovative projects like you have like this on Postchain, the more and more transactions that are going to be ran. So this could be, again, this narrative of Postchain becoming deflationary. It could potentially be something in the future, right? Nobody knows what the future holds. Not financial advice, but right now, so 94 billion. I'm sorry, 94 million has been bridged over, right? Imagine what this looks like in a year. Imagine what this looks like in 2025. Because more and more people are starting to understand, and they're trying. A lot of people are trying to understand how to bridge over, right? So that's like the main thing is like how do I come over here? How do I bridge over? So that's kind of the main thing there. But the more and more people that find out, the more and more transactions that we'll see. And And kind of quickly looking at here's kind of where I'm sitting with Post Drip, and it's nice to see that we are inching closer to 1,100 faucets. So we're now up to 1,075 faucets, and this number again continues to grow. Now we did have a pullback, a little bit of pullback in PDRIP's price as well as PLS's price. PDRIP was like, well, it was up over like I think we touched $20 for a second, or close to $20, maybe $19. Then we kind of retraced back a little bit. We retraced back, and then PLS retraced back too. And the reason why PLS traced back is because my thought is like a lot of people were putting money into 9-inch. I'm not in this project, but it looks like there's a $48.5 million market cap. So that lets me know that's kind of where some of the money flowed into. They flowed into 9-inch, which is a new decentralized exchange in which you can, do yield farming and all that good stuff on there. But that's probably why, people are pulling profits potentially from Post Drip and PLS, and that's kind of what happened. But rest assured, feel pretty confident about Post Drip because Post Drip continues to grow. More and more users are coming into Post Drip. We have the Garden, which is at one point had got up close to 600K in total value locked, right? Which is another place in which you can earn passive income, but it also helps support Post Drip with those buybacks from the deposits into the Garden and from the claims from the Garden, right? So I feel, for the most part, with Post Drip, we're in good hands with Eric and Matt. They have brought on a lot of utility, not only with the Garden, but Aqua Blaze. People have been playing Aqua Blaze and winning PLS because it's PLS in and PLS out. But also, there is the potential of real world assets being bridged into Post Drip. And not only that, but they are starting to build a track record of a devs that you can trust, devs that are consistent, devs that kind of continue on that grind to build the foundation of Post Drip. And that's the main factor for me, right? I'm bullish on Post Drip because you get that 1% per day. I'm bullish on PLS because of the potential of investors coming onto this blockchain because of the lower gas fees, because the potential of the new gold rush, because of the potential of that 100 to 1,000x type potential, because you're kind of building Post Chain from the ground up. And what better way to be than being Post Drip, which is tied to PLS, in which you can see that this upward trend, because if PLS launches up, PDRIP is going to go with it, and it's going to be game over, right? So for me, I feel comfortable being kind of at the right place at the right time, but also with trusted developers. And it's nice to have two developers and two leaders that you can trust, but you can kind of reach out to and ask questions. And there's no layers to like asking those questions, right? So I kind of just wanted to touch on that. Again, we talked about Post Chain as a whole. We're like looking at the daily transactions. We were looking at the amount of money that's kind of been kind of bridged over. We were looking at the percentage increase of Post Chain supply. We're looking at the total amount burned. The total amount burned per year versus the total amount increase or issuance, right? But with the potential of Pulsechain as a whole becoming deflationary because of the potential of the increase in transactions, right? Because once these transactions increase and we're getting like over 1 million per day, we're getting 2 million, 3 million, right? We're getting like really high transaction volumes per day. It's going to be a lot of burning of PLS, and we could potentially, see some of these numbers kind of like dead even, right? We could see this potentially being dead even or even flipped where you're burning way more than you are issuing out per year. So exciting times are ahead for not only for Pulsechain, but for PDRIP as well. And also, like, again, all the new protocols, all the new dApps, the new DEXs that are being built on Pulsechain, and more people finding out about this blockchain and participating in it, right? So I want to thank everybody for listening. Oh, and if you were on my team, like I sent you guys an airdrop. I sent you guys an airdrop on Friday. So, make sure you go over and look in your rewards in the team section there. I sent you an airdrop there, and, we'll kind of just continue to work together and build each other up. So I did send that over Friday. Just make sure you go and double check in the rewards. All right. Thank you for listening, and thanks for stopping by.